At last, we are here. It's FUTV. We are live, and we have Jay in the room. We are looking ahead to Aston Villa tomorrow. It is a must-win game, of course. Everything that's conspired today. Spurs have won late. There's no room for error. We're getting into all of your thoughts. Get your questions across. Get your thoughts across. Get your team. How do you see it going tomorrow? First of all, though, a big welcome. We've had some serious technical issues over the last few weeks, Jay, but you have finally made it to the room, and it looks like we have a decent setup, and Jay sounds crystal clear to me. Guys, let me know what you think.
Okay, can I just say there's a certain retailer that operates in Britain and Ireland, comes from Australia. Don't ever buy a laptop, a mic, or anything from them ever, because the customer service is horrendous.
There you go. There you go, mate. That words of wisdom from a man of experience in. Oh God, honestly, mate, technology does my tree in. It's like not my forte, and I leave it to the experts. I felt every little bit of annoyance and pain that you were going through. Absolutely all of it, mate.
Yeah, and like we have Ben on our side, who's like a tech guru. And when Ben couldn't figure it out for us, the frustration levels with me and Adam were rising by the second. So thankfully, we're here and we're going to talk Some United.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. I will work with all of the sound as we go. If there's any echoes at all, I will just iron it all out as we go along, guys. I think we're pretty decent for the level. Well, considering what we've been dealing with recently, I think we'll take this right now. It's not too bad. We've got a slight echo on Jay's side at the moment, but I'll deal with that hopefully as we go forward. But Jay, first of all, everything that's going on. I mean, you look at Manchester United situation we're in this year so far, it's not too bad. We're in a little bit of good form now, a couple of wins in a row, lots of goals being scored finally. First of all, for you, the plus points over the last few weeks, well, basically 2024, Jay, really, because that's how long it's been since you've been on, and United unbeaten in 2024. What are your good points and why everything has sort of turned around a little bit for you?
Rasmus Holland, in a nutshell. Um, I said on Twitter there for Christmas, just support this young lad. He's going to keep making those runs. Sooner or later, he's going to get on into something. And that iconic image from his goal recently, when he's on the ground and he's celebrating on the ground, I think that's a testament to the player that we have on our hands. Obviously, still, he's got wingers that won't cross. I think that level of selfishness that Marcus Rashford has been doing for his entire career has now fed across to Garnacho as well. But Hoyland, you got to back him, and he has been the highlight. For me, the low light was last week against West Ham. Carcinero is finally back. He's played 2 games in a row. That back four looked revolutionised, and unfortunately, he's got an injury and he's out again. I hope that is not the tipping point injury to everybody watching for the rest of the season, because I think that injury for us is a crucial loss.
It 100% is everything to us right now, Jay. I said, look, Manchester United right now with Martinez back, it's a different animal altogether. You said it yourself, then the defence, everything looks more organised. Everyone feeds off his positivity, his aggression, and the way he plays, his professionalism, his never say die attitude. He runs around the pitch like a captain. A lot have called him a captain recently, and him missing against Aston Villa is a big loss. But Jay, I mean, the next question really is like, it doesn't matter if Martinez. They've all seen that they can play alongside Martinez, and we've looked like a unit. I talk about Dalot being a better player with Martinez there. It shouldn't matter playing at Manchester United if your mates are there, the better players are there. This is your opportunity, in effect, to step up and claim that spot. This is how it should be at United, and I fear for what we've done before and how we've been snowflake-wise and reliant on certain players being there. Ten Hag has used the excuse of all the squad being back. I mean, barring Martinez, it pretty much is everyone. There's enough to beat Villa tomorrow. First of all, Jay, I mean, on Martinez, who are you replacing him with? What's your centre-back partnership for the Villa game tomorrow?
Well, last week, my old mucker, Harry Maguire, I think into that game, West Ham got in behind him twice. So I don't trust Harry Maguire playing that back forever. And people say I'm biased towards Harry Maguire. Maybe I am. So for that reason, tomorrow I play Johnny Evans beside Varane, assuming, of course, that Ten Hag picks Varane, which he may not do. Ten Hag may revert back to Solskjaer settings and play Lindelof Maguire together. Who knows? But tomorrow for me, it's Johnny Evans, and the chatter probably going to say already said, no, you got to pick Harry. I'm going to go with Johnny Evans tomorrow.
You know what, mate? You know what? I'm in complete agreement with you. I feel like Evans has done nothing wrong. Our best partnership of the season, our best defensive display of the season was away at Anfield, playing Liverpool, and Evans and Varane handled one of the best and most lethal forward lines in world football comfortably, as to a point where Onana was barely doing anything in the second half. So for me, I'm comfortable with Johnny Evans coming in alongside Varane. Some people were shouting out Luke Shaw, Jay, as to coming in there, but with Wan-Bissaka out of this game, Jay, you could see why it was Johnny Evans. I mean, was there any shout at all for you for Luke Shaw coming in at centre-back?
Well, the very fact that Wan-Bissaka is out, and to be fair, just to my previous point about Maguire, Dalot saved Maguire's ass last week against West Ham with that last-stage tackle.
Yes,
if you're watching, if you recall that. So he saved him last week. So Dalot has his frailties, but he has manned up the last couple of games. I'm not a fan of putting Luke Shaw beside Varane tomorrow, because then who are you going to play left back?
Yep, exactly.
I'll let that to the floor.
Yep, it is, mate. It is the Luke. This was the old problem. This was Luke Shaw out of position. Just let Luke Shaw play at left back. This is how I was going at it. I wanted Luke Shaw there. We've got enough centre backs. I mean, Lindelof's bleeding back as well, so he's not a player I bring in. But when you've got so many centre backs, I think it's embarrassing if we actually bring a left back into that role right now. And I feel like where Villa are quite pacey, I feel like if Onana plays his role well, then we should be all right. And by that, I mean Onana needs to play like a sweeper keeper sort of role tomorrow for me. Like what we thought we'd bought him for, Jay, we need him to play like tomorrow. We need him to be that sweeper keeper, that fifth defender covering. Because one thing that we haven't got at the back when Martinez is not there, Johnny Evans is not the quickest. So I feel like Maguire, definitely not quick enough. We've seen that with what you just said then with Dalot when Bowen went through against West Ham the other day. But I've not seen anywhere near enough from Onana. I've never been so disappointed in a goalkeeper. I mean, you're talking on the lines of Massimo Taibbi sort of standards here for Onana. For me right now, he just fills the defence. He fills the defence with no confidence whatsoever. So I feel like he needs a role. He needs to play a role more than anyone tomorrow. He needs a performance tomorrow, and that's not just shot stopping. That's organising that back line, Jay.
Okay, I'm glad you brought up that Massimo Taibbi, because I think a lot of people have been putting that out on X lately. It's Massimo Taibbi settings, most certainly. I think poor Massimo didn't let a ball go between his legs in that famous match where he's wearing tracksuit bottoms.
Yep.
So just on Onana, Laetitia, great memory, Adam, better than mine. But just on Onana, okay. So shot stopping is not his forte. I'm old school. I almost thought you're a goalkeeper. Shot stopping 101 is your basic job. So that's not his forte. Commanding his box is not his forte. Coming off his line is not his forte. He has played like a statue. How many goals we could see this season? Close on 50?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So we're in February. We haven't even reached Valentine's Day, ladies and gentlemen watching, and we've conceded 50 goals, 5-0. Let that sit with you guys. 50 goals, and we're not even Valentine's Day yet. That's insane. So, his forte is not shot stopping, not coming spots, come off his line. His forte, Adam, as you pointed out, is playing out from the back as that aka sweeper keeper, which we have not seen yet. Now, we know how Villa play, so we have to get at them tomorrow from the off and press the life out of them. If we let Villa knock the ball around, come from the ball this early, you know what's going to happen, Adam? Heads drop, and before we know it, it's 2-0 at half-time, it's over, and we finish 11 points behind Villa. And as far as I'm concerned, mate, top four is gone.
Yeah.
So Onana tomorrow, agreed, is crucial.
This is it, isn't it? This is like the game tomorrow. It's like we were talking on the morning show this morning. By the way, guys, thank you for tuning in to the show this morning and watching my video going around Old Trafford and talking about the stadium. Appreciate all of the comments and likes. Keep them coming in. Watch them videos back, especially the Old Trafford won. We spent a bit of time trying to get in detail about what's going on with the build, where it can happen, trying to give you an inside look as to how this might work for us in the future. So go and watch that video as well, especially after you've watched this one. Of course, stay with us right now because it's all about the Villa game and what we're doing. We're talking Onana here. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button as well, please. Let's get on to that because you are lacking at the moment. I give you your targets. You know what they are, and you're miles off it right now. So get to it, please. In terms of Onana there, I feel like this game is holding all our hopes, Jay, for Champions League. I said it this morning. I said I need all of that defence and the goalkeeper especially to be absolutely on it. I mean, I don't care if the ball gets booted out into row Z. If he's covering for us playing a high line because we're trying to win the ball back high and he just has to launch it out the stadium, perfect. I don't care. Just get rid of the ball. As long as you're covering the defence, it will demoralise Villa. And their high line, if they try to play it, I think can open up for us. And I think that will play into our advantage tomorrow. Like you said, the forwards are playing a lot better. The weak point is how many goals we're going to concede tomorrow because I feel like Villa will score and it's how we react to them scoring. And the goalkeeping situation for me is huge. He does need to turn up finally and give us something. And you know what? I would love to be giving Onana credit for playing well and doing things like this, being the sweeper keeper, but I'm just not confident, Jay. I'm not confident. It's the one part of the team right now where I'm going, oh, got Casemiro back, Bruno was playing better, the front line scoring goals, missing Martinez and then Onana in goal. That is my big concern. And I just feel like we may be getting a bit of a backlash from Villa. That's my only worries. Everything else I'm not in a bad place with at the moment. But, I mean, did you watch Villa against Chelsea the other night, Jay?
No, I didn't, Adam, and I'd be lying if I said I did.
It was shocking.
But look, the thing is, I want to raise one point. Neither Adam or I like coming on here on shows or on our social media and criticising players. We want to praise players. We'd love to be here saying that Onana was a great replacement for De Gea and he's shot stopping, commands back four and doing everything we expect by United number one. We have to call it like it is. So if Adam and I don't have confidence in the goalkeeper, can you imagine the back four knowing that is your last line of defence? That if you mess up a tackle, you fail to match a runner, you're beaten for pace, and Onana woke off his line. Your back four isn't confident. And I think, Adam, and that is the inherent problem I have with that back four right now. They're not confident in our goalkeeper. So I want Onana tomorrow with your post-match, and we're like, oh my God, Onana today, 9 out of 10, man of the match. I would love to see that tomorrow, Adam. I know you would too.
Oh, mate, I'll be absolutely buzzing if that was the case. Like people saying now, Onana did his job in the last game, says Simpson. Yeah, he did his job, did what he had to do. He made the saves that I thought he should have made. It's simple, but this is a different kettle of fish. This is like when the pressure is really on right now. And this game is absolutely everything because I agree with you, Jay. I feel like we don't win this. And I mean, a draw for me is probably enough to say, look, it's another game gone. We're not going to catch up because Spurs won today and we're now chasing down Villa again for that 5th spot / 4th, whatever it be. We've played Villa and Spurs twice after tomorrow and we need to leave our mark and we need to close that gap and take this opportunity tomorrow. But what you've got to look at as well is here, it's like what happens if we don't get the result tomorrow and what happens to the mentality of this team. That's the concern you've got, Jay. And that's what I've got concern-wise anyway.
Okay, well, that team, they've won 2 in a row. That game against Wolves, I so wish I got to go in the show with you because that was for me. It was scrappy, it was gutsy, it was the best performance I've seen United on Ten Hag.
We need
I
that
want to give
tomorrow,
Ten Hag
mate,
credit for that performance and the players, and we need it. So we need that same level of intensity. But to your point, if tomorrow doesn't go as planned and we lose, I think heads will drop because the tide of momentum we're on now, we're on the crest for a wave, and we all know waves sooner or later that wave could crash into the shore. And tomorrow, I think if, and I hope to God it's an if, we don't get 3 points, I think players' heads will drop because they know in their heart and souls top 3 is gone, and a chance of us getting top 4, playing Champions League, are pretty much out the door as well. And I'd have my fears about a lot of players playing and actually turning up for the rest of the season. We've seen it before. Normally players are on the beach in April. We don't want our lads on the beach in March.
No, that's it. That's it. We need to be in the Champions League next season. I did a video the other day talking about how lucrative the Champions League is going to be, the setup, how much more money's in it. It gives Ineos the perfect opportunity to balance Manchester United's books. The more money that's coming in, the new financial fair play rules that are coming in, this is building up to be absolutely huge. And tomorrow, I think, has got so much riding on it, because I look at this month, February, I've seen it as an opportunity. Wolves, West Ham, Villa, Luton, Fulham. We then go into games against City, Arsenal, Liverpool after this. We need to make the most of this. Not many people were confident, and probably rightly so, before the Wolves game. But we've beaten Wolves, we've beaten West Ham, we've shown a level of professionalism, I feel, in both games, a lot more commitment in both games. And I feel like that is what we need to cling on to right now. Can we hold it? Can we harness that and move forward? Because if we do beat Villa, I think that's the catalyst, Jay, of Manchester United heading back to the top four. I feel like this is such a big game. General Foodie has just donated a membership taken by Vincent. Thank you so much, General Foodie, and welcome to the Members Club, Vincent. But on this, Jay, I feel a win against Villa, United are moving. 3 wins in a row against decent opposition, and the prospect of Luton and then Fulham. I feel this could be the catalyst for a real push for that Champions League spot.
Well, Luton were standing. I wouldn't fancy anyone chancing at Luton in the current form. That could be a 5-4 or 4-3 to either us or Luton. But I agree with you. Tomorrow, it's a catalyst for the rest of the season. And yes. I really hope tomorrow night that we are giving players 1 to 11 and the subs credit for getting 3 points and cutting that gap down to 5 points to the team above us. It's what we want. It's what we all want, Adam. But as you know, Ollie Watkins last week, hat-trick. He's one of these players, he runs hot and cold. And when he's hot, he will do serious damage. So tomorrow, do you want the poise and guile and experience of a Johnny Evans up against Watkins, or do you want a Harry Maguire?
Yeah, I thought Evans was unlucky. Evans was unlucky to lose his spot in the side. I mean, I would argue Harry Maguire was as well, because he was playing okay. I thought he was all right until them couple of moments against West Ham as well. But we need the best that we can get. Bless you, mate. Bless you. 5 gifted memberships from the legend that is Daz Salford. Thank you, Daz. New members tonight are John Ralph, Dancing with the Devil, NS01, Matt Armbuster, and who is the last one? Ryan86. Welcome to the Members Club, my friends. Hope you're all doing fantastically well. Enjoy the show. Sit back, crack open a beer. There's going to be plenty of match day coverage tomorrow, guys, and we'll be all over it. The warm-up show, we'll be then heading, me and Jay, afterwards for the reaction show, as me and Jay will be talking about a United win and a charge for the top 4. I'm trying to home in on the positivity right now, and I feel like, because Jay's back, this is a sign. Jay's technical side is working. This is the sign that United are going to go on and beat Aston Villa now. This is it. I promise you, I'm not thinking about, well, Jay's not been here, we've been winning games. I'm not even going to say it. I've just said it, but you know where I'm coming from. Super chat from DJ John says, here's to you, Adam, for having the GOAT Jay on. Thank you very much, DJ John. Really appreciate that. Keep getting the likes in, guys. You're lagging tonight. You're lagging. Jay, I mean, we talked about the defence there. I think we're pretty covered. We're going to have Dalot, Luke Shaw. We'll go with Evans and Varane. And Anna needs to play a good game. Midfield, Jay. Talk to me about Kobbie Mainoo, because you've not had your opportunity yet. A breath of fresh air, I think, is how every United fan is describing. And just talk me through your emotions of that Wolves goal, but overall his performances so far.
I don't think there's enough superlatives to properly quantify the performances that Kobbie Mainoo's put in. We did discuss on a previous show that we won't see the best of Kobbie Mainoo until he plays beside Casemiro.
Yeah.
We had Kobbie Mainoo playing beside, like sideways, pardon me. My apologies, it's a flu doing the rounds. My apologies.
He's got you
So
going,
finally,
mate.
we have Kobe Manu playing beside Casemiro. Now, Casemiro back on his side, of course, the front three. No, okay, we've got the class of Casemiro behind us. We're going to raise in confidence. You got three young guys at the front. Casemiro's behind, and I think Kobe Manu beside Casemiro. That is right now theoretically the best partnership we've had in midfield in probably about 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah,
And I don't
would
say those words lightly.
No, mate. I don't think you're a million
can't
miles
give
off.
Manu a bigger compliment than that.
I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I said it all along. I said Ten Hag's got a chance as manager because he does like to bring the youth through. I've also said at the same time that he's lucky that he's had such a good crop of youngsters to pick from. I mean, without Manchester United's academy this season, I don't know where Ten Hag would be. As Kobe Mainoo has come in alongside Garnacho. I know Garnacho was towards the back of last year, but wow, the way that Garnacho and Mainoo have both performed this season, I feel like looking at Ten Hag right now, I think his best go-to, mate, is within them younger players because they're the ones he's getting a tune out of. You look at Højlund, Kobe Mainoo, you look at Garnacho, you look at the younger players in this team, even Martinez is probably one of the next youngest down at the age that he is. I think Ten Hag is better bringing through a younger team with no real Galactico sort of names. I think this is where it works for him. Here's towards the transfer fee for Jay, says London 1965-7. Super chat from you. Thank you, my friend. Everyone's loving having you back on. But Jay, on that one, you were nodding there and saying like the younger players with Ten Hag. I think this is the way forward for him, isn't it?
Look, if Ten Hag is in situ next season, I don't believe we're going to have a massive budget next year spending players. It's probably going to be 200 mil max. We're no longer going to be buying the quote-unquote Galactico signing. We're never going to be signing the likes of Paul Pogba signing again. That's never going to happen, I don't think. Be players 30, 50 mil, not a massive wages. That's the way forward. So if next season Ten Hag can blood 3 more players from the youth, I'm all for it.
Yeah, that's that bit. You've got plenty of options there. I mean, Dango coming back, Mava's coming through. Obviously, we know about the players coming through from the under-18s. It could possibly be some extra young players in the matchday squad tomorrow, we're hearing, although I don't see how because we have got a big squad and plenty of players available for us tomorrow. Kambuala was a breath of fresh air when he came through as well. Another one that's come through this season. It all bodes well. It bodes really well. I'm going to get into the chat. Guys, if you've got any questions, let us have them. Get into the chat right now. It's your time. Ever hearing Maguire name give Jay the shakes? Says Trishan. Kazzy's back in the room as well, guys. Daz is a legend and General Foodie is a goat. I agree with that one, Lee. I do agree with that one. Let me just see what else we've got here. You have to wonder why Malacia's injury is as long as it's been and he's been unavailable. Well, that's simply because it was a knee injury and a bad one. But he is back on grass and training again. The only trouble with Casemiro, Mainoo and Bruno, they have no pace. I think Mainoo does have a bit. Not the fastest. I understand what you're saying. Quick off the mark, but in the long run, maybe not. Shout out to Jay. I stand by you on TikTok. Great show as always. As usual, Adam, says Mike Fergus. We need to keep Casemiro, even though he's 32. He'll help with Mainoo progress. Haters hate on Casemiro. Casemiro in the summer, if he doesn't accept that wage cut, Jay, or if we can't get him down, are you bothered if he leaves, or do we need to do everything we can to keep hold of Casemiro, like the comment says?
It's actually a great question. His wages are astronomical.
He will be the highest paid player at the club by the end of this season.
Pardon me. He's on what, per week, 350? Give or take?
Yeah, 350 basic.
350 basic plus incentives, bonuses, and whatever else you're having. Mm-hmm. So that's £1.4 million a month.
Yeah.
Let that sit with you. We're not going to earn that in our lifetime. He's on that in a month. Now, Adam, you might his channel get a million followers. You never know. But 1.4 million a month on Casemiro at his age. It's not my money. It's not your money, but it's obscene. I don't think Ratcliffe is going to want to pay that kind of money. I think Ratcliffe would probably offer him 200, 250, which is, again, a crazy amount of money. And if Casemiro is prepared to stay there for another year or two with a wage reduction, I'm all for it, but not on that kind of money.
No, it's quite clear. I mean, he was given a 5-year contract, which pretty crazy on that money. It really is. How we negotiated that one. And we all know that Sir Jim Ratcliffe, when he went having a look around United, when he was bidding for him, had an issue with that. It's been well documented and a lot of people have talked about it. So that is a clear sign that we are not going to be seeing these big wages. Varane is unfortunately coming to the end of his current deal. So they're in a position where they can offer him less. If he doesn't want it, then he can go. I want to keep Varane and Casemiro. I've said it. I feel like at least Varane will go though. I can't see how he stays at his age. I think he's won everything and he'll want to move on. But Casemiro, I feel, is a leader in that team as well. You can see he's calm. You can see he's right behind. And just, you know what the moment was against Wolves for me that answered all the questions, Jay? When he got subbed off for McTominay and McTominay went and scored, he was the first man bouncing around on the sideline, cheering and hugging onto Ten Hag. That's infectious. That's a man you need in your team, is it not?
It is, and it goes back to the point that Gary Neville always makes. Scholes says it, Keane says it, that when the Class 92 were coming through, it was easy for them.
Yeah.
Because there was leaders, quote unquote, all over the pitch.
Yeah.
So from a perspective of leadership and setting an example for young guys coming through now, as in Garnacho and Amenu, and next season, 3 or 4 more, you do want your Varanes, your Casemiros in that squad because they are the example for younger players. Whereas previously, we're not going to name them because these players are never in anyway, but that dressing room was full of players that had won very little or nothing at all and thought they were superstars. Young lads coming through, they had nobody to aspire to.
Yeah.
So if Varane and Casemiro want to stay on a lower wage, I'm all for it because they are the example for young lads to reach.
Yeah, that is. Oh, yeah. I tell you what, that would be the perfect start for Ineos for me. If they came in and they said, "Look, Cass, we need to balance the books here. You can see what's going on in the world. Everyone is struggling. We want you to be part of this team. Are you willing to accept incentive type where basic wages, where you will be more than rewarded for accomplishing things?" It's the way it's got. If he stayed, honestly. And we knew when we found out that it was a reduced wage. I think without even knowing the truth, I think we'll feel like it is a reduced wage because of what's happening with Iran. I just feel like that will be the biggest kickstart to Ineos, his time in charge of Manchester United ever. Convincing a player like that, look, here's the project. This is what we're going to do. We are going to challenge for trophies, and you will get your money if you win things. You will get given the world if you win things, but it's not going to be as a basic anymore. That would be the perfect start for Ineos for me. It has to come across that way, that it is all performance-related wages. Mike Fergus says, guys, do you remember the outcry when Kane wanted 80k a week from his 40k a week wage? How times have changed. Plus, 96 Zidane went to Juve for 3 million. Let that sink in. I mean, Cantona for 1 was enough, mate. I'll go as far as that. Whatever. We can use the money for free from the 3 oldies to easily get a younger, better player in midfield. That's the problem, though. Who is that better player in midfield? Henry says Adam Sir Jim is a shrewd, and he will cut the players' wages. I feel like that is coming. And Lee says we need to find a young midfielder who can play with Kobe, for the next 10 years. I think we have got an idea of what we want. I feel like there will be investment. I think a lot of hoping that we can see some younger players come through as well to join him, but I feel like that's where a lot of the money will be spent. Forward line wise, Jay, obviously you've not had your say on Marcus Rashford yet. I think the time has passed now for me. I'm still Rashford. I want to maybe utilise that and sell him in the summer. Højlund and Garnacho, we don't really need to get into because they're doing their bit and they are really flourishing now. I think 5 and 10 goals between them this season, 15. So I feel like they're working well. But Rashford, for you, we haven't got many other options because I don't think I'd even play Anthony ahead of him. He's only Amad Diallo, Jay. Where are you at with Rashford overall, Jay?
So anybody that follows me on X knows my viewpoint on Rashford. The club misread it so badly that last weekend the back of the program had markers in a picture advertising an alcoholic beverage.
Yeah, wine.
That's
I think it was. I
that
can't remember
literally
actually.
I think it was Chivas or whatever it was, but that literally sums up the mentality have at that club. That sums it up. Okay, so Rashford, I'm his biggest fan. No, am I critical of him? Yes, but I've always been critical of what he does on the pitch. The charity work for me, as commendable as it was, it gave him this exalted status within the club and within British society that he became touchable. And he's been walking around Manchester as if he literally is cock of the walk. And no more than yourself, Adam, I hear bits from inside the club. You've got a contact, I got a contact. And I hear bits that his attitude towards the staff and other players is not fantastic, to say the least.
Yeah.
He was one of the players that threw ties out of the prime when Ronaldo was there. Okay, now, took his goal very well last week, and full credit to you. Would Jay Daly have played him if he was manager? Absolutely not. I would have not played him. But that's me. I'm old school. But the issue for Ten Hag is two things for me. He's a star boy. He's the brand the club want to propagate into the mass media. Secondly, option B is Anthony. So even Ten Hag, in his infinite wisdom, if you got him alone a one-on-one off the record, he might tell you, yeah, actually, Anthony messed up there. So it's Rashford or Anthony. So he's damned if he does and damned if he doesn't. So Ten Hag, for me, is in a tough spot there. Yeah, personally, Adam, we play neither of them, but he doesn't have a third option.
No, I think Ahmad just isn't quite ready. I want to see him, but I'd like to see him subbed on. I mean, if we're winning and he's got a sub to make, I'd like to see him bring Ahmad on for Rashford. I think that's the one that we need to be seeing instead of Anthony coming on just to give him bleeding game time, because that's all it seems to be at the moment. It seems to be a sympathy position in the team for Anthony, and that's not good enough for United. We need to be giving Ahmad his opportunity off the bench, yeah. I feel. I think that's where he needs to come on. We have a super chat from Daz Salford who says, any ideas what the score is with City and Girona regarding the Champions League? Do City have to forfeit, so an extra place, but they are champions? No. There will be a loophole in that. It's been going on for a while now, this rule of dual ownership and two clubs in the Champions League or Europa League or whatever. It's the same scenario for Brighton and for Aston Villa. They are dual-owned clubs with teams in the same competitions. I think we get around it. United are, I did talk about this last night actually, United are reportedly trying to get a closer relationship to UEFA because of this scenario, because Nice look like they're nailed on for getting in the Champions League, and Manchester United, if they do pull it off, and then he's going to have dual ownership under Ineos's sporting group. So yeah, I don't think there is I don't think there's anything to worry about because other teams have got around it, Daz. So in terms of City's side, they'll be the same as United, and they will find a way to get in. So yes, guys, get your questions coming in for both of us. I mean, Jay, we've gone through the team. We're pretty much nailed on there. I think we've Garnacho, Højlund and Rashford up front with Bruno, Mainu and Casemiro, Varane, Evans, Shaw, Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Onana in goal. What's your score prediction for tomorrow, Jay? What are you going with? How do you see the game going, and what score is it going to be?
I would take a 1-0 right now.
Oh, I'm
sure
run,
anybody
mate.
watching would do the same.
I'd run with it.
I'd take a 1-0 right now.
I would run.
Look, if the old cliche in football, first goal is important. Yeah, we all know that. I think if we get out of tomorrow with a 2-1, I'd be delighted. I will be over the moon. The longer it goes 0-0, I think the more Villa will come out and play. Because they will want to put this game to bed tomorrow as well. I really do think that they want to put life between us and themselves. So the longer it goes 0-0, the more Villa would open up, and then I think we can get Villa on a counter-attack. But that being said, Adam, we could concede the first 5 minutes.
Yes.
So, live chat people, what are you saying?
Yeah.
Tell me what you think.
Let us know, guys. Let us know. I'm just going to go through some of the chat now. Ahmad out on loan does everything. Does everything asked for, but can't get 20 minutes in the first team. What's the point? Daz is still confused regarding Girona and Man City. Don't worry, Daz. There's nothing that UEFA put out there which is straightforward. I was explaining the new Champions League format last night. I was confusing myself sometimes when I was saying it, even though I knew how it would work. It's hard to put it across and get it across to people. So don't worry, mate. I do think
Can
we
I just
would
say
be.
something, Adam?
Go on, mate.
About Champions League, if you don't mind. End of the day, and you're watching, Champions League is about money.
Yeah, it is.
UEFA want the biggest teams, the biggest brands in the Champions League. Their commercial partners, their commercial entities, they want the biggest teams in the Champions League. So UEFA will find a way to, let's just say, subjugate their own rules.
Yeah, no, definitely agree. The fact that you can finish in the top 24 of this 36-team league and still be in the Champions League tells you everything you need to know. So yeah, extra revenues all the way. Finish in the top 24 of a 36-team league, and you get 2 extra Champions League games guaranteed. That's actually so. Compared to this season, for going out of the group stages, you play 6 games. You're guaranteed 8 within the league. If you finish in the top 24, there's a chance you could get a playoff game if you're not in the top 8. And then obviously you're guaranteed a spot then in the final 16, which gives you another game. You can imagine the amount of money involved then. An extra 400 million. So yes, United will be going all out for top 5 to get this Champions League. Because of the extra place that we will get because other English teams are going to do well, not like we did. Give the video a like, guys. We're almost at the 150 mark. Keep getting your questions in now as well. Let us know what your score predictions are going to be for the game tomorrow. How do you see it going? Giorgio B says, must win. Lost points, us 11 points behind Villa. 2-1 to United. Rasmus Brace is dancing with the devil. I'm taking that all day long. I'm confident we can do the job, but do the players believe that? That is the question. I don't know, ML. We will find out soon enough. 1-0 is a good 1-0 be good, but smell 2-2, says Gray. Dennis says 3-2 in favour of Manchester United. I like the way you put that there, Dennis, in writing. Love that. They are going to score, so we need at least 1 goal. 1-1, says John. Logic, yeah. That's how it is. Pick one player, Jay, who you are looking out for in that Villa team tomorrow. Who is the one that we need to be worried about?
I said already, Ollie Watkins.
Yeah, I know.
He's the biggest goal threat.
I tell you what,
by
though.
far.
What do you feel about Tielemans and his resurgence at Villa? He's found his feet again a little bit, and John McGinn has had an excellent season. There's a few players there, isn't there? I mean, I would be worried if we get. Oh, I forgot the bloody winger's name now. You know the fast guy on the wing. Oh God, why is his name? His name has left me, but you all know who it is, and the chat will come up for me in a minute and tell me who it is. It's a worry with the pace. I know that. Well, I do believe we need to win that midfield battle. That's where the likes of Douglas Luiz and McGinn have flourished this season for me, and I think that's where that's their foundation to success. I feel Villa this season. Bailey, that's the one. Yes, Bailey on the wing is a big worry. He's very, very quick and he's frightening. I feel like our fullbacks will struggle, but the midfield battle for me, I'm going to go with if John McGinn, and he didn't play well against Chelsea the other night, and it showed. So if we can manage John McGinn, their leader, and his energy, then I do believe we will be okay. I think that gives us the advantage. But yeah, it's a tall order. I mean, their run at home, Jay, has been excellent up until the last 2 games. So we're hoping we can capitalise on this, but I just fear that bounce back, and it's always United, Jay. We always seem to get the rubber of the green with teams that are looking for that bounce back after a poor performance, don't we?
Always, and also, if I'm not mistaken, they've got Torres back, a centre back as well.
He is available, and there was one more available.
He's available also. And I think a couple of seasons ago we were actually in for him as well, and would have bought him also. But of course, the Glazers knew better.
Well, yeah, Joel definitely knew better alongside his compadre, Ed Woodward, anyway. But yeah, I'm going for me. I can see it being a very, very nerve-wracking, high-scoring game. I'm going to go 3-2 United, me, for this one, Jay. I feel
Ooh,
like there's goals in
okay,
this. I feel like
okay.
my hair is going to be pulled out, and I would have done another roller coaster, triple Salco by the time this game is finished. It's just, I think the atmosphere is going to be up. It's at that horrible kickoff time where you know that everyone is geared up and ready for it. Everyone else has played. We're the last team to play, and all eyes will be on United and hoping that we fail again. Can they handle the pressure, Jay? That is the big thing.
Well, look, they're professional athletes. They're very well paid to handle pressure. Any of us watching United wish we had the talent to perform at that level for the club, and unfortunately we didn't. So to handle the pressure, a professional athlete, lead the club.
Yeah, well, that's it. That is it. I'm just checking on this Newcastle result, actually. Oh, they've scored again. It's 3-2 to Newcastle now. But yeah, again, more reason for Manchester United to need and get this result tomorrow against Villa. It's massive. It's going to be an absolutely huge game. It's going to be a pressure cooker. The atmosphere is going to be electric. And I feel like if Villa play the way they've played recently, I think we'll have a chance. I do. First goal is key. Like everyone keeps saying, I know it. Manchester United are a different team. If we get that first goal, it's a different game. Anthony Wisdom in the chat says, Martinez is a massive loss. We can't play high line without him. We can only do it if Onana does play that sweeper keeper. We're not confident that he is going to, though. That is the problem. Villa look like they are running out of steam. Let's hope it's the same tomorrow. Hopefully that is the case, Paul, and they don't have this bounce back against us. But hey, you've got to look at it and you've got to go, well, 2 games in a week. We've got a full week's preparation. There's zero excuse for Erik ten Hag right now. Zero excuse. Do you feel the same like that, Jay? Do you feel like this is it now? His full team is back. Even when Martinez out, there's no room for error for Ten Hag now. Do you feel like he will be gone if we don't make Champions League?
Well, if he doesn't make Champions League, he should be gone. And I'm steadfast on that. That's the bare minimum. Like, go back to when you were watching United in the 90s and the 90s, the notion of finishing top 4 didn't enter your head. It was when they got on title. So if you can't finish 5th in the Premiership, I think his tenure at the club is null and void.
Yeah, I think that'll be the way. I think it'll definitely be the way. Do you reckon they'll get rid of him as soon as it comes mathematically impossible to make top 4, like before the end of the season, or just wait it out till the end?
See, that's a good question. Ineos obviously now they're in the phase of to win hearts and minds of supporters, because obviously everybody was focused on the full sale, and honestly, I never thought that was going to happen to begin with. So they're now in a hearts and minds section where they got to kind of win the fans over to them. And if Ten Hag's position becomes untenable, no top 4, out of the FA Cup, maybe they would pull the trigger.
Yeah, that is it. I'm putting a poll up right now, guys. I want to test the confidence of you all. I just want to know about the result tomorrow, how you see it going. And that poll is up now, guys. So get voting on that, please. Win, lose or draw, how is that result going tomorrow? I want to know how you feel. And let's see how confident everybody is. We'll run that for a few minutes just to see. I think everyone has got buoyed by Manchester United recently and the results and everything going forward. I feel like the fan base now is ready, Jay, for a turn. I feel like everyone feels like it cannot get any worse than what it was. I feel like everyone is thinking a little bit more positively now. Not just because of the performances, but like we can't drop any lower than what we did, like mid-table. There was a chance we was going to be bottom half of the table if the result went bad against Wolves. But I feel like the fan base is like, right, seriously, guys, this is it now. No more messing around. Let's actually start seeing some performances on the pitch.
They have, but that's been testament to Casemiro coming back. Martinez playing with 2 games, and Garnacho funny shooting boots. That's changed the whole dynamic of the team.
Mm.
So, God forbid, Casemiro gets injured. I think that midfield goes back to Scott and Manu again. So we are in a position. It has improved, but I think it's very, very tenuous. We've just won 2 in a row. Pardon me. Winning 2 in a row, 3 in a row, 4 in a row. That was standard operating procedure, Adam.
Yeah.
Fans are getting drunk now on 2 wins in a row. Oh my God, big deal, 2 wins in a row. You're doing your job, mate. 2 wins in a row, fantastic. Move on, next game. And fans are getting drunk on it. That's what I don't understand.
Yeah, that's it. It is, standards have dropped, and this is like, you should be expecting to win these next 3 games now and finish February as 100%. And if we do, I think we're back in this race. But it all stems on tomorrow and that result. If it doesn't go our way tomorrow, then I feel like we're completely up against it, because I know the game's coming up. We've got some very, very difficult games. I mean, I'm not confident about Brentford, Bournemouth, or Brighton away. Let's not even bring in City away. We've got Newcastle at home, Arsenal at home, Liverpool at home. We've only got 14 games left after tomorrow, and over half of them are from teams that we know have already beaten us this season. So, yeah, it's a bit of a worry. So we need momentum. And I feel like 3 wins in a row and beating Villa, that would be massive for this club right now. And maybe we should start switching our minds back to thinking this is how it should be every single week, like you said, Jay. It breeds confidence within the team. It's like, what was we doing before? That's how I would see it as a United player. It's like, Jesus, right, we're all right here now, but what happened before, mate?
I think the big takeaway, Adam, from what you said there is 14 games. That's 32 points to play for. Mm-hmm. How many of those 32 points can we realistically expect to win based on the games that you just referenced?
Well, I went through it. Like I said, I'd look at it differently. After 3 wins in a row, I'd think we'd have a bit of confidence into them last 14 games. I feel like we would be winning a lot more than what I was thinking after the Spurs game, for instance. Like, we were looking at no bleeding winning so long after that. Now we've got a couple of wins under our belt into the next round of the FA Cup. And I feel like we could grab maybe, I'd say we could easily get 8 or 9 wins out of that. A few draws. But that really then is pushing it. And still, there's no guarantee that the other teams around us are going to drop points. No one's going to stand still. United have to make this happen. United have to just look at every single game and go, win every game. It's the only way going forward, because no one's going to stand still. Villa are not. Spurs are definitely not. You know what I mean? West Ham and Brighton and Newcastle that are chasing us, they're going to be pedal to the metal. It's a tough running for United, and they can't think anything other than wins. There's no excuse.
I actually have to correct myself there. It's 42 points. So we have 14 cup finals to play. Put 14. In context, guys.
Ten Hag has said every game is a cup final. He needs to prep the players to realise that even a missed pass or a tackle from an opponent is going to be cheered like a goal. Be ready for the onslaught. Everyone wants United to fail. This is what it takes to be a United player. Stop making excuses and let's just get out there and win the bleeding game. That's all it is.
Love it, Adam. No excuses.
No excuses at all. Guys, that pretty much does sum up the video and everything going into tomorrow. Me and Jay will be back for the match reaction tomorrow. Make sure you join us then. I'm on with Tim, hopefully in the warm-up show before the game, guys. So do make sure you join us for that here on FUTV also, guys. The poll is confident. The poll is a United win by 67%. I like it. I'm going to go with that. All new members, thank you. All the super chats, all of your comments, guys. Thank you for all of your contributions through all of the content today. We've done plenty today. We've jam-packed it in there. I'm now ready for game day tomorrow for another busy one. Guys, it has been a ball. Jay, thank you so much for coming on. We fixed the technical issues and we're ready for tomorrow now, mate.
And Adam, thanks for your patience. Thanks everyone for watching. Like, subscribe and share. See you all tomorrow.
Guys, have a good one. I will see you all tomorrow.